Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to Toe Tags Metal Reviews, and today we're giving you guys a review of the new album from Lindemann titled F&M. So after a week of listening to this album, Vile, what are your thoughts?
My thoughts are overall pretty damn good. I did enjoy this album quite a lot throughout the week, but I do have some kind of feelings towards certain aspects of it. So I'll finish on a high note. We like to do that. I'm gonna say right out of the gate, neither of the ballads really grew on me enough to the point where I liked them. The first ballad on the album, which is Schlaf Ein, became my favorite of the two, whereas in the first impressions it was actually track 11, the second ballad. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce these German words. That was my favorite ballad on the first time I listened to it, but that changed. Schlaf Ein definitely became a better song to me. It reminded me of Frühling en Paris from Liebes für alle da, from Rammstein, which is probably one of my favorite Rammstein ballads on any album. Reminded me of that, so I kind of had a little bit of feelings towards it, but overall I was just like, the song's whatever. Another song that I had favorable feelings for in the first impressions was Angren, which is the Spanish flamenco type of song. But over the course of the week, the more and more I heard that song, the less and less I liked it, and it became a song that I was just skipping. It's a bit of a novelty. I was just like, it's fun at first, it's kind of different, it's kind of got this fun kind of sound to it. But then I was just like, I've had enough of it, and I was skipping the song for the second half of the week. The next one is Cradle. Now Cradle is a song that we did a reaction to, and we were both kind of like, I don't really like the beginning of the song. It's all slow and mellow and like acoustic, and then it gets heavy at the end. After the first impression, I was like, this is really cool. This is really growing on me. I really dig this. But again, it's a bit of a novelty. It started to wear off. I didn't even feel like waiting for it to get to the heavy part again. It just became like, oh, whatever, this again, skip it. So those are like my downfalls with the album. Then there's a few middle of the pack type of things, like Gummy, Fro and Man is one of them, and then the first two tracks are all kind of middle of the pack. They're just there. I like them, but they're not great. Then you have Alles Wasser, Blut, and Platz 1 are all amazing songs in my opinion. Alles Wasser, I don't know what about it. I listened to that song a lot, and I'm trying to figure out what is drawing me to it. There's something about the chorus that I really dig.
It's really catchy.
It's super catchy. That's what it is. It's just drawing me in, and I'm enjoying listening to it. So that's pretty simple. Platz 1 is very similar in its catchiness, but Platz 1 has that amazing synth through the whole song. It's just super techno-y. It's got a really cool, almost like a dance vibe to it, which is a little different, but I was jiving with it. I was feeling it. But Blut is a completely different feeling song. It's completely atmospheric driven. It's completely mood driven. I love the chorus of this song. There's this cool whisper type of vocal that he does in the song that just is really awesome. Blut is probably the song that grew on me the most, and it's probably, at this point right now, my favorite song in the album. Mathematica, I forgot to mention that one as well. That's another one that I think is more of the top tier songs. Very different for, anything I've ever heard from Till Lindemann before, whether Rammstein or Lindemann. It's basically a rap. It's got a rap beat, and he's basically rapping over top of it. As close to rap as you could probably get in this genre. But as you can tell, my opinion about this album is pretty varied, but I'm definitely leaning more towards the positive side of things.
All right, I'm similar. I share some of your feelings, but not all of them. Now I will say, around the start of this week, I want to say around Sunday, like Saturday, Sunday, I just fell in love with this album. I just like put in the whole thing. I'm like, what the hell? This is incredible. Like what? But it was around Tuesday, Wednesday, specifically like kind of middle of the week, where things started to slip a little bit on me. Cradle's a good example of that. Cradle, I even said it during our reaction, like, is it gonna get to the point where, okay, like, is this acoustic part over yet. Let me get to the actual song. And at first, I felt the same way as you. I'm like, you know what? Yeah, this is pretty good on my first impression. But it got to the point where I started to get tired of that. I'm like, I love the part when it gets heavy so much. You have no idea. Like the part where he's screaming, Ich hasse dich, which translates to I hate you. The way he's screaming that and the effect on it, like the kind of muffled echoey effect is sick, because I think back to the music video where he's screaming that and he's underwater. And it's just so cool thinking he's underwater screaming this. Like, I love that so much. I love that part of Cradle. It's just the fact that you have like 3 minutes of this acoustic shit. It's just like, come on. So I got to the point where I'm like, I don't even want to deal with that anymore. Like, just give me the cool part.
Yeah.
But the ballads. Wer weiß das schon, I feel is a bit weaker than Schlaf ein for one specific reason. The key change of Schlaf ein. The key change feels so magical, it feels kind of subtle, and there's a horn that you hear in the background that just sounds beautiful. Like, I honestly, that key change in that song is one of the best parts on the whole album for me. It's just so well done.
That's odd that you say that, because key changes are usually something that you get a bit of a giggle out of, like, oh, it's kind of cheesy or something like that. So.
I mean, you know, I kind of just, like, make a joke out of, you know, my feeling towards that at this point.
It was just interesting that they can do it in a way that really appeals to you. Whereas generally a key change is more like, oh, they're doing it again. Like,
well, no,
I feel kind of the same way.
I mean, for me with a key change, they're fine. It's just when they're, like, not needed is when I'm just like, oh, they're really going there. But
yeah.
In the case of both these songs have key changes, and they're both fine. I just prefer the one in Schlaf ein over Wer weiß das schon. But both of these songs are really emotional, and I like that. And I like how the lyrical content conveys that as well. And that's a big thing I noticed with this album. Now, all the lyrics are in German, which is contrary to Skills and Pills, which is the other album from this band, which is completely English. Which felt weird to listen to Till Lindemann singing a whole album in English. Because I'm not used to that, you know? But, you know, Schlaf ein and Wer weiß das schon, like, I find with Till Lindemann's lyrics, he's either commenting on something like, whatever serious, like a song like Deutschland from the new Rammstein album that came out this year. Like, that's a good example of that. They're talking whatever about the country. But then there's a lot of, like, really crude stuff. The majority, if not all, of Skills and Pills is like that. Songs like Gummi, which is about a latex fetish, or Knebel even, which is like, I like you with a gag in your mouth. It's just whatever crude, you know, humoresque lyrics, which is fine, but
usually sexually motivated too.
That's also true.
Yeah.
But these two ballads just, like, I'm glad that there's heart in it. I'm glad that it's not just a dumb joke. Like, honestly, like, emotionally, those songs work really well. Like, I felt something when I listened to them, and I'm glad that they didn't just, like, become the butt end of a joke, because that would just kind of ruin the emotional magic of it, you know?
Yeah, no, that's
How
true.
many more times I'm going to say the word emotional, I don't know.
That's okay.
But, yeah, so honestly, the ballads weren't that bad. That being said, there were points where I'm just, like, in comparison to the rest of the album, I'm like, okay, can I just put something else on?
Yeah.
Like a song like Platz Eins, which is one of the best songs, if not the best song in the whole album for me. It's just, I put it on, I love it, I love the chorus, it's just Platz Eins. Yeah! Like, the energy that comes from it, the song's literally, it translates to first place. Like, it's about, I'm number one, I'm the best. It's such a good motivational song.
It is cool.
It makes me feel good. It's just so much fun.
Yeah, it's an invigorating song.
That, I think, is the best description of that song, is that it's fun.
Yeah.
And a lot of the riffs in this album are fun. Like, Sta Alf, that's really fun to listen to.
Yep.
Alles Wasser, even that one as well. Like, I think that one's just a fun one to just kind of mess around and sing along. Like, Alles Wasser. Like, it's just, you get to bumping around.
Yep.
But, yeah, it's like, it got to the point, though, where I wasn't loving some songs, but I wasn't disliking them, so generally it was good. But I would say the best for me is probably Platz Eins. It's the only one that really just got me going. Even though a lot of songs like Ich weiß das nicht, that's a really cool song. I like how that one is pretty heavy compared to the rest of them. Blut is really cool. Frau und Mann is a fun song.
Yeah.
Staled on me a little bit, but it's not bad. I feel like that one probably fell a little bit since my first impression.
A little bit.
Gummi I liked as well, like Mathematik. Mathematik is like, I put it on and I was really loving it for the first half of the week, and then it got to the point where it's like, okay, I enjoy it, but I don't love it anymore. Like, I feel like the way you described it, how the novelty wore off, I felt the same way with some tracks, especially Axelgarn. Like, that song Spanish flamenco, it's cool. It's got a really nice solo in it, but it got to the point where I'm just like, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, who cares? And then I put on the Pain version, which we're not considering for a review because it's a bonus track, but
Right.
it's just an interesting kind of take that it just sounds a lot more like the rest of the album, but it's kind of whatever. Anyway, let's get to rating. So Val, what do you rate this album?
My feelings on this album kind of went like this throughout the week. Loved it, then I was like impartial, then loved it, then I was like, wah. It's a strong album, it really is. But not strong enough to get a toe tag from me, but it's gonna get a 7 from me.
All right. I feel similar, because honestly, the same kind of thing was happening for me. I was loving it, and then just kind of, it's okay, loving it, it's okay. I'll also give it a 7, because it's still a solid album that I think is enjoyable regardless. Like, if I go back to this album months from now, I'll probably still enjoy it the same way I did, like, over this past week.
Yep.
Anyway, guys, that's all we got for you guys today. Double 7s for FNM. So remember to like the video if you like it, comment, tell us in the comments below if you enjoyed this album, or if you didn't, remember to subscribe if you guys are new to the channel. I'm TV Fish.
And I'm Vile Self.
And we'll see you guys later.